Good evening. My name is Sam, and I'm here to talk to you about a very interesting and fascinating culture from the maritime provinces of eastern Canada. These people are known as the Acadiens. I've had the pleasure of coming in contact with them because my girlfriend actually is a part of their community. The name Acadia originally applied to the colonies of New France to the areas of New Brunswick, eastern Maine, southeastern Quebec, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. During the time of around the early 1600s, the English and the French were at war for quite a long period, so many people decided to come on over because they were fascinated by the New World and they wanted to see that, and they were tired of war life in Europe. They spent, these people came as families, very family oriented. They spent the time, they set up dikes on the land and farmed it and were very good at what they did. They at least multiplied tenfold in the next 150 years in population. Their families grew, and they were very friendly with the Indians. They were all spread out along the western coast of Nova Scotia, the eastern coast of New Brunswick, up in Prince Edward Island and the Cape Breton area. Then the English, during the time of the French and Indian War, came and told them if they didn't fight with them, they were going to do something about it, and they did. They passed the Ordinance of Deportation, 1755, to quote Lieutenant Colonel Winslow. He said, "Your land, your homes, and herds are confiscated. You will be transported outside the province." So they basically destroyed their culture for a good while. They took all their stuff, they took all their land, they sent them out destitute, roaming the American colonies, which were in no state to support them. Nobody wanted to support them. They didn't relate with them. They were Catholics, while everybody in America resented Catholicism because of England, and that's why they had left in the first place. Some were sold into slavery, many died, and some went well enough into hiding in like the areas of Quebec or France, or just like were able to make it somehow, and they eventually were able to return. They now celebrate that their heritage is still alive, and they are still alive with the celebration known as Tintamer, where they go out and bang pots and pans, a huge parade, paper mache, people of famous Acadians, and go down the street celebrating all day, and they kick off the end of it with a huge concert where tons of Acadians attend. They have a big concert, drinking and all that kind of fun. It's a good time. As far as food goes, they have a cultural dish called rappy pie. It's boiled down potatoes where they remove the water from it. A hot broth made from chicken, pork, or seafood is then added along with the meat, onions, and then layered with more grated potatoes to make a casserole-like dish. It can be kind of scary at first, but it was alright. Just kind of a freaky texture, very gelatiny. For work, they used to be farmers, but nowadays most are fishermen. They like sail off the coast and fish in the oceans for all sorts of things, from lobster, halibut, flounder, all sorts of things, salmon, anything you can think of from the ocean. And I've had the personal experience of visiting these people. They're very awesome, very, very kind people. It was nice going to a place with a single culture, because it just like, you knew how it was going to be. You know, there was no surprises. It was kind of nice for once, from being from Houston, seeing so many different, and always being surprised. It was just kind of cool to have everything the same for a while. It's so beautiful there. Like the coast, I can't even explain the beauty. The coast is rocky. They have these amazing just trees for ages. Everything's very beautiful. It's Canada, and the air is definitely much better than here in America. And that does it. And I hope you learned something, and you should check them out, because the Acadians are nothing like the Quebecois, which kind of give them a bad name, and the French, because for being really snooty, they're actually a really like humble, modest, and very, very kind, like I could say unspoiled culture, you know. Goodbye.